Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mysticon Board Game Geek, bringing you episode 2 of Black Orchestra. We're going to take a few more turns as our characters, General Hans Oster, General Friedrich Albreight, and Klaus von Stauffenberg are attempting to assassinate Hitler. We are really just getting started. We're not too deep in the game, and I didn't get any reports of any mistakes from the last episode, and I had 2 videos in between here, which are the first 2 of my top 50 solo and cooperative play games, and there's more to come on that as well, but I wanted to get some more turns into this for you since everybody seems to enjoy this game. I do too. I think it's a good one, and we're going to get started. So right off the bat, we're going to get started taking some turns, and we're going to go with we're going to start the turns with General Hans Oster. He is currently in the Sportspalast with some poison, and we're going to start taking his turn. Now he's got 3 standard actions. He's by himself. So I think for his first action, we're going to roll some dice. We're going to do the action called Conspire. Now, Conspire can be done once per turn. You get 1 die per action that you sacrifice, and you can sacrifice all 3 actions. And you go, what's the value of that? Well, you can build up some points. You can also get some bad stuff, but you can get additional actions, many additional actions if you're lucky. And we're going to do that. Now, he also has 2 cards, and I think we're going to use one of them before the end of this turn. To move Klaus von Stauffenberg away from the Zaghaus where all the bad guys are. So it just says play as an action. So we're going to have to use one of our actions to do that. So hopefully we roll some actions on these dice. But this is him here, and I have his card up on screen. You see he's also extremely suspicious, so that's bad for us actually. We need to get that lowered down. And soon. So and he's also only still timid on his so he's already at his Hamlet with 2. He's very timid at this point as far as his motivation is concerned. But let's roll 3 dice. We're going to roll 3 dice and see. That was there. We got, oh, this is good. This is actually really good. So we got all 3 of our actions back, plus we got a descent, and that fills up our descent track. So when we fill up our descent track, we can do a number of things. It says when the track is full, return those dice to the supply. Then you may either choose 1 conspirator to gain +1 motivation, decrease Hitler's military support by 1. Well, currently, Hitler's military support is as low as it can go in a standard game, so there's no point in doing that. So what Hans is going to do is to raise his own level. Now, he is a skeptic at this point. That increases his hand size up. We're playing a 3-player game, so he will be able to have a 5-card hand at this point. So he is now skeptical in his motivation and the ability to assassinate Hitler. So he motivated himself. Now, we still have 3 actions left. So for his first action, he is going to use this card. He's going to use forged documents, and he's going to use the second part of it. He could move Hitler away from the Zaghaus, but there's 2 other guys there, so he's going to use the second part of this. May move a conspirator, including yourself, up to 3 spaces. He's going to move Klaus von Stauffenberg because Klaus is in trouble. So why is Klaus in trouble? Well, if you start your turn, he's here at the Zaghaus, if you start your turn on a space with these guys, you have to do these things. So -1 motivation, discard a card, and cancel an ability. I mean, really, that kind of doesn't hurt him. He only has 1 card, but you know, in this, if we move him away, he can actually do more. The one good thing about there is the ability that on the spaces, -2 your suspicion, he is only on medium suspicion, so it is better to get him out of there and not lose his card, the 1 card that he's got. So we can move him up to 3 spaces away. And I think we're going to move him to, we'll just move him to, that we go to the train station for 1, go to Hanover for 2, and then down to Alderhorst. So let me show you where that is. So once again, he moved to the train station, boom. Then I moved him, and you can move up to 3 spaces. So he moved from the Zaghaus to the train station, which is Berlin. Then he moved from Hanover to Alderhorst. He is out of the way and able to start exploring this area. So that was one of the 3 actions, and that also then burned this card. I will just put it on the bottom of the conspirator deck for now. And then we got 2 more actions left with Hans, and I think for 1, he is going to. He doesn't need or want the poison. There's no point in it right now. he is going to go to the chancellery as a second action. So he moved as a second action, and that's an action that you can take. Then I think he's going to reveal this thing and see what it is. It is a weapon. We don't need that, and revealing it is an action, and you can't pick it up yet. So those were all his actions. That's going to be the turn of General Hans Oster, but we're not done because we have to draw his card, and his card is going to be, wow, let me see, the Onklas. Austria is peacefully annexed by Germany. If a key event is in play, there is not one. Ignore and discard this card, then redraw. Well, it's not, so this will become a key event, I believe. Increase Hitler's military support by 1. Move Hitler and Göring to Munich. Okay, this is not a key event, actually, but we're going to put that there, and we're going to take that action. So we are going to move, we're going to increase Hitler's military strength by 1, which means now we can reduce that. Now his military strength is part of how we have to defeat him. We need 4 successes currently to defeat him because of his military strength. And then we're going to move him and Göring to Munich. Okay, so Hitler is here. Boom, there's Hitler. He's going to Munich. And then Göring is going to Munich as well. Okay, that is the event card for Hans Oster. Okay, next up we have General Friedrich Albreight, who is in the train station still, and for his first action, since he is alone there, we don't have any threats, he is going to attempt to descent as well. We're going to use all 3 of his actions to do that. Let's see what we get. Wow, just a whole bunch of actions. So no descent, but we get 3, 4, 5, 6 actions with him. That's pretty amazing. He is still timid, as you can see, so he does have the coup d'etat plot card, which Hitler has to be in Berlin. It gives him a die. Conspirator player's plot is in the same space as Hitler, so he has to be in the same space. Conspirators, this is things that have to happen. Conspirators playing plot is a committed or zealous motivation, so we have none of those yet. We're not even close. But I think for the first of his 6 actions, he is going to draw a card, a conspirator card. So let's see what he gets. Forged documents, that's good. He can move Hitler or somebody else. That is good. Up to 3 spaces. So he's going to take that. And I think we'll take this die away just to represent, so I can keep track. He's got 5 more actions left. These are a lot of actions, which means we can do a lot of good stuff. I think first he's going to go to, he'll go to Nuremberg for 1 action. And then he'll flip this for 2. Intel. Okay. We do need intel. He's got signature already, and that's part of his plot. Is having the signature. He actually does not need the intel, but the intel could come in useful. So for his next action, leaving him with 3 actions, he's going to pick up the intel, and that will go in his items list. Now he's got signature and intel on his items. And it says if Hitler is present, he's not. -2 suspicion, you only for any item. So if Hitler was there, I could turn in an item and lower my suspicion by 2, but I can't. So then for his next action, I think he's going to go move to here. That's an action. And then he'll move from Munich to Tannenberg. That's an action. So he's down to 1 action, and he'll flip this over. Explosives. Okay, so we're starting to reveal the locations pretty well. And that is going to be the end of his turn, so we're starting to get some things checked out here. Now, being that that's the end of all of his actions, we're going to draw his event card and see what he gets. Visit from Goebbels. This is not good. Goebbels makes an important speech. Move Goebbels to the space of the nearest conspirator. Okay, we'll take a look at that. If that conspirator is alone, he may raise his suspicion to high to increase his motivation by 2. We'll see if he can even do that. So Goebbels is up here. So the nearest conspirator is General Hans Oster. He's already at high, so I have to assume that he cannot do that. But Goebbels is going to move there, which is bad for Hans, because Hans will, well, it's not really that bad. It cancels his ability. He doesn't have access to his ability yet, so it doesn't matter if Goebbels is there or not. But that's his event card. Okay, so now we have Klaus von Stauffenberg. He is currently in Adlerhorst, and he is going to descent as well for all 3 of his actions. He's going to roll 3 dice. See, when they're alone like that, I mean, there's some risk that he's going to have to raise his suspicion. But in the end, it doesn't really matter, because he's the only one, and he can get some really good actions and points out of this. So we're going to roll all 3 of his actions. So once again, just new additional actions, and that's not a bad thing. So for his first of 3, 4, 5 actions, he will turn this over. That would be his first one. See what's there. A weapon. Now he could take that. What's under here? -2 suspicion for you only for explosives. Well, he doesn't have any items. So I think for his second action, he's going to pick the gun up, the weapon up anyway, just because having an item is not a terrible thing. That gives him 3 more actions. He will draw a card for one of those actions. Let's see what he gets. Ooh, a plot card, hidden bomb. Well, this makes sense. That's like very thematic because Klaus von Stauffenberg is the one that planted the bomb that tried to kill Hitler. Required elements: Hitler in a non-fortified space. Okay. Conspirators playing the plot is in the same space, and conspirator is committed or zealous. He's none of those things. So optional. If he's a civilian, he's not. He's a lieutenant colonel. He would get an extra die. If he has explosives, he would get an extra die. And if he has keys, he would get an extra die. Anyway, we're going to take that plot. We're going to put it with his cards. Right now, those are the only ones he can have. He's got 2 actions left. Well, for his plot, he does need explosives. So we'll go 1. We'll pick these up. That'll be 2, and that'll be the end of his turn. So he is met up with Friedrich. Of course, we've got to get their motivation up, and I haven't had a lot of luck doing that. But this is Klaus, the end of Klaus's turn, so he's used all his actions, and then we're going to draw his card. We're going to draw from this deck. Let's see what he gets. Munich Agreement. Chamberlain negotiates treaty with Hitler. Okay, increase Hitler's military support by 1. That sucks. Remove the next 2 stage 1 event cards from the game. Before the next event step, move this key event. Okay, this is a key event. To the side of the board and remove it when the next stage begins. Okay, so that's going to affect... See, this would have affected one of the cards we played earlier, but it didn't. So we're going to put that in the key event space, and I'll show you what that looks like. First, we have to do what it says. So we raised his military support, and then we're going to take the top 2 cards of the stage 1 deck, and we're going to discard them. That sucks because that means we have 2 less stage 1 events before the game advances. And then you're going to place this card here in the key event space, and that's going to end Klaus's turn. Okay, now we move back around to General Hans Oster. It is his turn, and we got Goebbels here. He cancels his ability, but you have to be a positive motivation to even have your ability, so he does not have his ability. What we're going to do then is we're going to conspire. We're going to roll 3 dice to conspire again. We've been doing pretty well with that so far. And what does he get? Well, he got his suspicion raised, but he's already extreme, so he can't go up any higher. Okay, he would get arrested on a Gestapo raid. Now let's see if roll conspirator location. So suspicion goes up by 1, but he can't. So he has 5 actions he can take. He's already at his card limit. He can't take any more cards. What's he going to do? Well, let's move him to, for first action, he'll move to the Deutschlanderhall, and then for his second action, he's going to turn it over to keys. For his third action, he'll pick that up. Now he's got 2 more actions, so he's got 3 things: keys, intel, and a signature, so he can get some stuff to some people. Then for his next action, he's going to go -2 suspicion for you only for a map. He doesn't have a map, so he's going to move there for the next one to the Gestapo headquarters. And he's going to turn that over. It says poison at the Gestapo headquarters. And that's going to be all of his actions. Okay, and then we're going to draw another card. Okay, party rally. It says the rally of Greater Germany is held in Nuremberg. Move Hitler and all deputies to Nuremberg. Okay, let's take a look at that. So Himmler is already at Nuremberg. So Hitler and Göring move there from here to here. And Goebbels comes down there from here, as does Hess. Those are the lieutenants. They're all in Nuremberg right now, having the party rally. That's not a good thing. Well, that means everybody else can run around where they want at this point. Now, Albreight, he is down here, and it is his turn. So now he's with Klaus, and so I don't know if we want to. He's going to dissent with all of his dice or not. He might move first and then dissent with 2 dice. I think he's going to do that. He's going to move to Munich first for 1 action, then he'll dissent with 2 dice. So this is his second action. He gets 4 more actions. God, I'm not rolling any dissent. I need to be able to raise our motivation and not getting these rolls to be able to do that with. So he's there. He's got 4 actions left. For his first action, he will do that. It's another signature. That's one of 4 actions. He does not need a signature. He's not going to do that. For his next action, oh, I forgot Borman right there. He's also there. So he's going to go, so he moved there, got 4 actions, took 1 to turn that over, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's where he went over to Hanover and he stopped there, and that's going to be the end of his turn. So we're going to draw the last of the first stage cards and see what we get. Assassin caught. Maurice Bouvard confesses his plan to shoot Hitler during the parade. The conspirators nearest to Hitler raise their suspicion to high. Move Hitler to the chancellery. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's take a look at that. So the conspirators nearest to Hitler raise their, so this one's actually, let me look, 1, 2, 1, 2. Both of these are 2 away, so I guess that means both of them. So that means that Klaus goes to high and General Albreight is already at high suspicion. And then we're going to move Hitler to the chancellery up here in Berlin. Okay, that ends the stage, all the stage cards. So if you look at our key event card, it says, before the next event step, move the key event card to the sideboard, remove it when the next stage begins. So we're about to start the next stage. Okay, last up we have Klaus von Stauffenberg. He's going to dissent for all 3 of his actions. Now, the second stage does not begin until we draw our second stage card, which will be at the end of Klaus's turn. So let's roll, see what he gets. Oh my god, I love all these actions. That's awesome. But I need to dissent. I'm not getting their motivation up at all, and that's very frustrating. Now, he is here. He does not have poison, so he cannot do anything of any value there. He's already got 2 cards, and because he's at timid motivation, is there a place where I can increase their motivation? Not really. Okay, well, then what he's going to do is he's going to spend 2 of his actions, 1, 2 to go to here, 3 to turn that over. It's a weapon again. If any deputies is present, -2 suspicion. Nope. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, he's got 7 actions. 5, 6, a map. He'll pick up the map for 7. Okay, he's got items, but they're not useful. Now he can go here to, he can deliver a signature there as an action. He does not have a signature. He has explosives, a weapon, and a map. So he can go to the Zoghaus and lower his suspicion by 2, which would be really good. But we got to get their motivation up. That's really the main thing. Hold on, I'm not even. Wow, I didn't even show you what I did. I moved halfway across the board, went here and drew the map card. Boom, map token, and then he took that. That was all of his actions. Went crazy across the board. So sorry about that. And now he is going to draw his event card. So this is the first stage 2 event. So we're going to get rid of this now. Remove it when the next stage begins. So we remove that. The stage begins now. Assassin caught again. George Elser. I mean, there's a lot of people trying to kill him aside from us. Admits to the planting of a bomb at the Burgerbuchkeller, where Hitler was speaking. The conspirators nearest to Hitler raise their suspicion level to high. Well, the only one nearest to Hitler is now Albreight, who's already at high. Move Hitler to the chancellery. Oh wait, take that back, guys. There are 2. The Oster is already at high, and Klaus is already at high, so it's still not going to affect anything. And Hitler is back at the chancellery already, so that's the turn. Okay, guys, that was a full round again, so we're going to stop right there. I know I'm keeping these nice and short, but we did 3 turns. That's pretty good. We haven't been caught by the Gestapo yet. Nothing terrible has happened. It's pretty good stuff, and we'll see what goes on next time. I think I may have screwed up, and I'm going to check when Oster got a suspicion above, when it bumped up again above extreme. I'm looking to see if he should have been arrested. It looks like it's only in a Gestapo raid event card, but I'm going to check that out and see if that's true or not. Okay, no, I was correct. It's just if there's a Gestapo raid and you are at extreme suspicion, you are automatically arrested. So right now, if we have a Gestapo raid, Hans Oster would be automatically arrested and taken to the Gestapo HQ. Okay, well guys, that's going to end our session for today. This is an awesome game, but man, I got to roll some of these so that I can conspire or dissent enough to get our motivation up. That's really going to hinder me if I can't get it up higher. I need some cards or something that's going to allow us to raise our motivation. So guys, that's the end of this session. I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying this. Sorry I clipped a couple of turns where you couldn't see what I was doing. I got to pay closer attention. I was just enjoying the game. And we'll get to it next time, and be ready for my next episode. It's going to be my top 50 co-op and solo games. It's going to be number 29 through 21, and I'm going to stop at 21 because I want to do my top 20 over the course of those next two videos. I'm going to spend more time on those than I do in the top other ones. Well, at least in the top 10, we'll see. But guys, I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, and take care.